so random, but did you guys see that one crazy TikTok of that house and the lights?
No.
The dancing lights?
The one
So-
with the
There used to be one around here that we used to go see every year. 97 or 91.7. It's like they hook the radio station up to the dancing, like the lights move, and so the lights go with the song.
That's so cool.
It's
this one.
Oh yeah, we have one of those in my neighborhood.
Dang.
yeah. We have those are it's kind of
Oh,
crazy.
like the ones where you like change it to your radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They hook it to the radio.
So cool.
They like
I don't
like
understand
so.
how that's even
That must
like.
cost a lot of money.
Oh no, it does cost.
Were these three rows right
Here and turn my ringer on.
Your finger's still on.
No, my ringer's not. Sorry, I was gonna put my phone on do not
Oh, they
disturb.
did it every day.
I took it off because I took it off and realized my mistake.
Thank you.
Woo, 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 woo.
You guys go to class first.
You're with your class. You sit with your class.
You're checking with the teacher, so you're not marked absent. You got to sit with your class. Alright, how are you? So we're these three rows right here.
Wait, what?
It's true.
Did you drop out?
Well, okay, guys. Hey, can we agree? Hey, can we
Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, I think
Guys, you guys agree with that, right? When we're talking, just to step at least in front of the microphone.
Yeah, just like in the front there.
Yeah, just to know that you're the. Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if we're all just like here, it's I think.
Because like us here aren't
That's what I said, we
talking,
have
and
like
then
the
we
choir.
move.
Yeah. What were you saying, bro?
there's only one camera on us, so it's not gonna be like crazy like high quality video.
It's not that
It's just
deep.
gonna be the presentation as a whole.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so we can't
it's
tell
not.
you about
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna leave it on your last slide, right?
Guys, actually, I don't know. Woo.
I don't know what the cameras are, to be honest.
Wait, no, it's below it.
There's a bunch of cameras.
For that, which was actually
Wait,
security, which was actually.
The camera right there.
Well, they're not gonna record us from the
I know.
No.
But there's like the different camera shots.
Oh
So I'm
yeah,
guessing
we
we're,
did
like,
for the orchestra
the main-
concert. Isn't it there? For the orchestra.
Why? Because then if they're you can see where she's on.
That's funny.
So in 10 minutes we're starting. It's 12:04.
Should I rip these out or should I just hold them?
I don't know. I'm not holding anything. Why is my mom
Wait,
calling
should I
me?
rip these out?
No, just hold it.
Or does it look fine?
It was fine.
Down, it's our time. Nibble, nibble. Anyone quick, put your hands up.
Welcome to today's assembly about Charity Week 2024. I'm Brooke Lee, your Student Council President.
I'm Sam Mazzola, your Student Council Secretary.
I'm Sam Steiner, your Vice President.
I'm Madison Bloom. I'm also the Vice President.
I'm Claire Kilbride. I'm the Secretary of Public Relations.
First, we would like to thank the administration for allowing us to have this assembly. We would also like to thank the teachers who brought you here. We appreciate you. So let's get started. This year's charity is Love for a Child. First, let's look at some of the events planned for Charity Week 2024, which will take place February 9th through 16th. Some adjustments might be made before Charity Week, but for now, we're going to show you what we hope to offer you.
So again, Troy Athens Charity Week 2024 will take place February 9th through the 16th. And the charity we will be representing is Love for a Child. Love for a Child, a local organization founded in 2012, serves children, youth, and families within Michigan's foster care system. The group focuses on helping children of trauma who have experienced forms of abuse, abandonment, and neglect. Love for a Child has facilitated overnight camps, mentorship opportunities for youth and children and youth, and continues to provide resources for foster families as well. And now here are two great passport options that we have during Charity Week. We have the Student Passport and the Community Passport. Both of the prices have not yet been disclosed, but they will be announced eventually. So the Student Passport, that includes nearly all events, a jail and bail warrant, matchmaker results, raffle tickets, and a charity t-shirt as well. And you will also have the chance to win exclusive prizes, and this is intended for all of you guys and the Athens student body. We also have the Community Passport, includes all after-school events, raffle tickets, and t-shirts as well. And this is intended for parents and other non-Athens community members or relatives. And this will be available on school pay in January. So make sure to purchase one. And here are a few highlights of our week-long events. We have corporate sponsors and restaurant nights, which we encourage all student, staff, and community members to participate in order to help raise more money. We also have Teacher Court, which teachers from various departments run for royalty. Basically, throughout the whole entire charity week, the selected teachers are trying to raise as much money as possible, and whoever raises the most money for the charity by the end of the week is crowned at the assembly on Friday, where the reveal will take place as well. We also have Mr. Athens, which is super cool, biggest event, I would say. That is a talent competition, and that includes questions, a lip sync battle, and a talent portion as well. And there will also be raffles offered and matchmaker, which I don't know if you guys all got one, but it's a questionnaire sheet basically that should be sent out to all your classes for you all to complete. And that is free with a passport or $3.
All right, so the week before Charity Week, we'll be hosting our Top Golf Spirit Night. So at this time, the price and date are yet to be determined, so stay tuned for that information. There is a first come, first serve basis, as there's limited spots for this event, so make sure you're available to get it. So you're gonna sign up online, and the payment will be during lunch for that. The Thursday before Charity Week, we'll have our belly flop contest. Both students and staff are invited to participate in this event, so let a Stuco member know if you're interested. For the event, there's going to be a $5 admission fee, and Mr. Athens contestants will be selling snacks during the event. Once again, that's the Thursday before Charity Week.
The Friday before Charity Week, we have senior sidekick for our students, but then we have parent euchre night for our parents and teachers. Parent euchre night is for 21 years or older. Students will not be granted access into this event. It's $25 admission, and there will also be a silent auction. For the students on Friday, we have senior sidekick, which is where underclassmen can draft a senior to spend the day with them. You can have your senior dress up, carry your bag, etc., but they will hang out with you throughout the day. There will be a free breakfast provided for underclassmen and their sidekick. Drafting starts at $15 for the seniors. More information to come on that. The Saturday before Charity Week, we'll be hosting a new event this year called the Athens Amazing Race. If you've ever seen the show, you know what I'm talking about, but more information will come later once we hash out the details. There will be a restaurant fundraiser before our ice skating event, which takes place at Troy Sports Center. It's $5 admission or free with your passport, and I believe skate rental for that is usually around $6. The Sunday before Charity Week, we have Jazzercise, which will be in the main gym, hosted by our Jazzercise instructors. It's $5 for students and $10 for adults. We also have a yoga class at Explore Yoga on Long Lake in Rochester. It'll be one class, and admission for that will be $20. There will be a sign-up genius for both of these events sent out before Charity Week.
The Monday of Charity Week starts off with pancake breakfast, which is during first hour. Tickets are $5, and you can buy them the week before Charity Week at lunch. The hypnosis show is also that day, which is during fifth hour. Tickets are $5 as well, and it is free with the passport. After school on Monday is Express Yourself. If you like music and like poetry, sign up to perform. Let someone in Stuco know to sign up. Tickets are $5 at the door. Tuesday, during second hour, is the film festival. Tickets are $5. The volleyball tournament is after school that day. Teams are $50 and $5 to enter.
On Wednesday, we have coin stalls during the day. So coin stalls is basically where you bring all your coins from your house, and teachers who are participating have to count all the coins before starting class, so it's a great way to delay class. Then at night, we have parent cook-off, which starts at 5:15. Parent cook-off, parents will make either appetizers, entrees, or desserts. Then for $5 or free with your passport, you'll get tickets and you can vote on your favorite food item. Later on that night at 7 p.m., we have the Mr. Athens pageant. In his event throughout the week, we have participants raising money to try to win the title of Mr. Athens by selling different items at events and during school. Then on the actual day of Mr. Athens of the pageant, there is a best dressed portion with Q&As, a talent and lip sync, and then the person who raises the most money is crowned Mr. Athens. If interested, please see Mr. Dufresne. On Thursday, we have Jail and Bail. It's an all-day event during school, so it's $15 for half an hour or $20 for an hour. And then with your passport, you also get free half an hour. It's in the West Deck. It's a way to get out of class, hang out with your friends, and there's many different games in the jail too. Yeah. And then you can also jail your teachers this year. At night, there is Carnival at 6 p.m. It's a night event where people from the community come to our school and play games made by different clubs and teams. Friday is the last day of Charity Week, so on the day of, you would come wearing your Charity Week shirt, which you can get with your passport or buy it. It's the last day of Charity Week. We have the pep assembly during 6 hour, which is $30 per class, so you'd raise that during your 6 hour to attend. And then at the assembly, we hear from the charity, we get to see Mr. Athens perform again, and then we get to see the big reveal of how much money we've raised throughout the week. At the night, we have the school dance, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's $12 per ticket or free with your passport, and it's a great way to end Charity Week.
Now we are going to hear from our representatives from Love for a Child. In attendance today from Love for a Child, we have Joe Savali, Doug Button, and Joe Leal. Let's give a warm Red Hawk welcome to Love for a Child.
What's going on, Troy Athens? We doing good? Come on, we gotta bring some energy. You're about to be on Christmas break, right? We're all, wait, somebody just booed. Who was the booer? Oh, these are the cool guys in the front row. I got the white kicks on. I'm with you guys. Come on now. Is that what we do? All right, hey guys. I'm with my friends Doug and Joe, and my name is Joe. I'm the executive director of Love for a Child. We are so excited to be at Troy Athens High School with you guys for Charity Week. Thank you for picking Love for a Child. In the next few minutes, my goal is to educate you just for a second on what you guys are going to be a part of and how you guys are going to change some kids' lives forever. And so all I ask is don't be TikToking and don't be playing your games right now. Just give me like 20 minutes, and then you can go on to ignoring me, okay? We cool with that? All the slackers in the up? I can see people on their phone up there right now. Yeah, I see you up there. Pay attention to me. No, see, everyone's looking. I was just kidding. I didn't see anybody. How you doing? All right, so hey, Love for a Child. We help children in Michigan's foster care system were kids that are ages 6 to 12 years old. For you guys that are not really fully aware with what foster care is typically a child will enter the foster care system because maybe their biological parents or grandparents or a family member has chosen to do something in life where they no longer can provide a healthy and safe lifestyle for that child. And so then the state of Michigan puts them into the foster care system for a period of time, they call it a transitional time, while the parents try to figure out their situation and get their child back. But oftentimes, those children remain inside the foster care system all the way through elementary, all the way through junior high, and oftentimes through high school until they age out at 18. So I want to talk a little bit about some stats, and then I'm going to get into some stories. So here's some stats. There's about 15,000 kids in the state of Michigan that are in foster care. That means they're living in a different home, not the one they grew up in, not with their actual biological parents. Now, if we narrow that down to the community, there's about 4,500 in the Metro Detroit area and in Oakland County. But the children that you guys will be helping with Love for a Child fall into a very different category. Out of those 15,000, there's about 1,000 kids in foster care that fall into two different categories. Categories that are so severe, the average family in Michigan don't want them. And here are those categories. Number one, a 6 to 12-year-old child in foster care in our program is destined to live in 10 houses before they even see the age of 10 years old. And category two, you can use your imagination here, have been victimized by 5 or more adult partners before they are even 10 years old. And so those two statistics are so staggering that there's about 1,000 kids out of the 15,000 that are suffering from them. Now, let's talk about those 1,000. They go to schools just like this. They live in our community. You've walked by them in stores, but the difference is because of the abuse, the abandonment, and neglect that they're currently living in, there's a 92% chance that no family will ever adopt them. It's not because they're horrible kids. It's not because they've made bad choices. People in their lives have made bad choices and have ripped their childhood from under their feet. And all of a sudden they fall into this category, 90% deep, and nobody wants them. So they're going to graduate from high school, just like you guys are in the next few years, never having a family of their own. These are the kids that we serve. A couple more stats. In the state of Michigan, 6 out of 10 foster kids do not graduate high school because of the trauma that they have faced at young, early ages. Of those 6, less than 2% will ever get into a college classroom. So if you do the math there, when you guys go off to college in a couple of years, there's almost a likelihood that no foster care kids would be joining those classrooms with you because they just never got the chance to succeed like you guys have the opportunity right now in high school. Big staggering one, at the age of 18, the state of Michigan considers them an adult. And they age out of foster care and they become their own person. But 82% of foster care kids will be immediately homeless at the age of 18, and they will fall into challenges of drug addiction and different things in life that would cause them to either live in homeless shelters or be incarcerated. Now, there's the stats. I want to get into a couple stories because this will be the most important thing that you guys remember. Where do the kids come from? Most people will usually shout out, oh, they must be from Detroit. Detroit's known for having some struggles. Or Flint, Michigan, or East Detroit. But the difference is that they're coming from communities and suburbs just like this. In fact, stats would show that the subdivisions you guys live in, there's a foster child or teenager living within 1 block of where you guys live. But how do you recognize them? It's not like they're wearing a target on their back. And so let me share 2 stories of the kids that are in our program that you guys are going to be helping. In 2018, I received a phone call. Hey, we need this little girl to enter your program at Love for a Child. I said, okay, what's her story? They said, are you ready for it? And I said, of course I'm ready for it. I've been doing this for a long time. We've been doing this for over a decade. They said, well, this story's a little different. See, there was this school that you guys might know called Chippewa Valley High School. And a subdivision right next door to it, all-American subdivision. It's not known for being poor, and it's not known for being rich. It's somewhere right in the middle. And this little girl was supposed to be attending junior high school down the street. But her first year of 6th grade, she didn't show up for school. Nobody blinked an eye. Nobody really cared. Nobody looked into her situation, including administration and staff. Hey, she just didn't show up. Year 2 comes by, and this little girl was on the enrollment once again. But it raised some concerns and some questions, but again, they just kind of pushed the problem to the side. Year 3, 8th grade. That little girl was supposed to show up for her first day of 8th grade at that same school, when finally somebody said, something's not right here. We shouldn't have this girl's paperwork on file. So they looked into her situation, and they found out that her mother wasn't in the picture, and that her father was the sole guardian of this little girl. But the difference is this father had challenges with drug abuse in his own life. He lived in a different city every few months. He had a different job every couple months. And his own family members said, yeah, we don't want anything to do with that guy. He's been a problem for a while. So they called Child Protective Services to check in on this little girl. And the address on file was right next to a very prominent high school where kids played football. The tennis courts were in the backyard of this little girl's home. They went to that house, and the neighbor said, sorry, she doesn't live here. That house has been abandoned for a long time. We saw a couple cars come and go once in a while, but I don't think you're going to find anything. So the police officer wrote off the house as abandoned. Until a week later, 7 days later, somebody was cutting the grass, and they turned off their lawnmower. And they could hear this little girl screaming from this house. And that little girl was screaming bloody murder. Police officers were called, and the same police officer, 7 days later, showed up to a house where he had to kick the door down, and he found drug paraphernalia and alcohol bottles, found no adults in the house. And they opened the door to a basement that was an unfinished Michigan basement, which means it had concrete floors. And as they walked down those wood steps, they found a little girl. She was chained by both of her ankles to a pole. She was living off of crackers, bread, water, had been in the same clothes for 3 years. And that little girl also, without getting into detail, had over 75 grown adults in the middle of the night, over 3 years, enter that basement, and for lack of better words, would steal her childhood from under her feet. What does that girl look like, Joe? Malnourished, her hair missing, her teeth missing. This is that little girl. This is that little girl when she came to our camp. Happy as can be, snow cones, and she would stay in our program. And so what do we do for kids like this? Love for a Child provides a program where we give a week-long kids camp for 40 children in foster care where we treat them like royalty. We let girls go to princess parties, and we bring in Detroit Pistons and Red Wings and Tigers for the boys. They go down slip and slides, and they eat hot dogs, and for one entire week, we let them forget about their past and all the crap that they've been through, and we let them be kids for the week. We let them go to bed at night knowing that no one's going to hurt them. We do 33 events with them, from boating and swimming and massive carnivals. Who in here, just by a show of hands, has ever been to a kids, like a summer camp in the summer growing up? Imagine a child at the age of 6 to 12 living 3 years in a basement, and then all of a sudden 4 months later getting to go to a summer camp where 100 volunteers are cheering their name the moment she came off the bus, giving her the time of her life, wiping her tears, not taking advantage of her. So 1 week in the summer, we give them a kids camp. And then for the year following that kids camp, we are the only foster care program in the entire state of Michigan that offers a mentorship program that goes into their homes. So guys like Joe, guys like Doug, myself, and 97 others, we show up to Riley's house once, twice a month, and we take her out. We let her do her homework. We take her to ballet. We take her to music lessons. We take her just to get her nails done and her hair cut, to go Christmas shopping. We make sure that we are there every step of the way for her childhood, because statistics would say that she's going to live in about 2 or 3 homes every 12 months. And the one thing that stays the same in Riley's life is her love for a child mentor. So a week of camp, a week of royalty, a year of that royal treatment brought to her every other week. And then we provide that family with resources so that they can know that there's food in their fridge, that there's gas in their car. And there's another story. See, you see 2 guys in this picture, but focus on the guy in the red bandana. This is a Waterford Kettering graduate. But when I met that little boy in the blue shirt, he was 10 years old. And he was put into foster care because his mom was in jail, his dad was deceased, and his sister was a drug addict. He would be left alone at the age of 9 years old in a house by himself to eat all the cereal and eat all the dry food that he could find. And eventually, in a moment of starvation, he would walk out to the front lawn and start eating grass. Well, that seems weird, Joe. When you're a child and you don't know how to take care of yourself and you're in a moment of desperation, you'll do anything. And that gift for this little boy in the blue shirt at 9 years old was to be put into a very horrific foster care institution where he lived with 40 other kids in foster care, basically a modern-day prison. Michigan is the 3rd worst state in the entire country for the development of kids like this and Riley. This is my friend Timmy. He's now 25 or 26 years old. He's been a camp counselor with us for the last 6 years. He was a 2-time state wrestling champion. He's a graduate from Waterford Kettering, and he went on to get a free, full-ride college education at Oakland Community College, where he then became a police officer in Waterford. And statistically, what I said earlier, 6 out of 10 kids don't graduate high school. They'll never see a classroom, and they'll be homeless at the age of 18. And because Timmy came to our camp at the age of 10 for a couple of years, his life was changed, his heart was changed for purpose. And guys like myself and Doug and Joe showed up to his house every single month just to go have pizza and chicken nuggets, go play football with him. And we were there for his life. We became the new family that Timmy was looking for. And it's amazing what a group can do when you step into one child's life and you change their destiny. And so when you guys are raising money over Charity Week and over these next months, it's not just because it was a cool thing to do. We'll take that. But you're going to give the opportunity to a little girl like Riley and to a little boy like Timmy, who right now can't be in a high school sitting in an auditorium like this because they're chained up in a room somewhere, or maybe they're being neglected, or they're being abused because of the situation that life has dealt them. And Love for a Child is going to step into that life and rescue them out of that. but we do that with all your students' help. And so right now what I want to do is I want to show you guys a short video, because I've talked about who we are, the royalty, I've talked about the kids, and every single face that you see in this next video is from our program. We don't want our program to be the sad puppy dog thing of kids crying and come help us out. No, we created a program that, foster care or not, you guys are going to want to be a part of it too. And Troy Athens graduates, you might even recognize some of them in this video because they've become a part of our program as camp counselors over the last 5 years. And now they're giving back just like you guys can to these children. So let's watch this video and let's watch what Love Your Child's all about. That's on me.
Someone once told me that you can't share a life-changing experience without defining the moments that exist within it. These are the moments that change our lives. The moment when hurt is healed by hope. The moment when fear turns into freedom. The moment when loss is replaced by love. For some of us, the pain, the process, the people, it all works towards something greater. And that's when we find our purpose. When the weight of the world has become too heavy, but there's someone there to help take it all away. So, imagine a place where you finally feel accepted for the first time. A place where everyone gets to feel like a child again. We believe kids should be kids. These are the moments that change our hearts forever. everything we do is authentically, wholeheartedly love for a child.
See, they don't need to be treated any different. In fact, the stats would show that a kid like Riley, a kid like Timmy has walked these hallways before. And what would you do differently if you knew that somebody in this room was in that situation? Treat them different? I would hope so. But together with Love for a Child and Troy Athens High School, in February, we have the opportunity to raise a buttload of cash. Am I allowed to say that? A lot of cash. Sorry, Sean. We're going to bleep that out. We're going to raise a ton of cash and give these kids an opportunity to be kids for the first time. Kids in foster care who are down on their luck, who need hope. Kids who have just had a bunch of loss in their life. And we're going to replace that with actions of authentic love that give them memories that they deserve, because the lifestyles they are given right now, they surely didn't deserve. It's just been a product of how they were raised. And so one of our most exciting announcements, and I hope this is the biggest year that you guys rally together to raise money, because I have some friends in the audience that are in the front row. This is the Grateful Giving Foundation, the three friends of mine sitting in this front row. And so when we found out that we were your winners, we started putting our heads together and say, let's do something that Troy Athens has never done before. Let's get the morale really high. Let's push Troy Athens High School to raise a couple $100,000, because Grateful Giving Foundation is going to match it at 100%. So if you guys go out and you kill it and you nail it and you raise $250,000, well, we just raised $500,000 for the kids that we just talked about. And so when you guys are out there doing pancakes and basketball games and all these things that we've talked about for Charity Week, we're going to be working diligently, arm in arm, as a team with you guys, because the better you guys do, the more that I have to make them write the big check. And trust me, I want that old man right there to write the biggest check he's ever wrote to me, okay? And so we are excited at Love for a Child to partner with you guys, that you guys have chosen us. But more importantly, when you leave here today, I want you to think about stories like Riley and Timmy and many, many others in the state of Michigan that we're going to be helping in this community by giving them that week of royalty, a year of hope, and we couldn't do it without you guys. And from Love for a Child to Troy Athens, we love you guys, and we're so thankful that you guys chose us. Thank you guys so much. So now, the last thing I want to do is give you guys, the students, an opportunity to ask a few questions, whether it's about foster care, the program, or anything that was in the presentation. It's always usually one person that is afraid to raise their hand first. But for the next couple of minutes, Sean, how much time we got? We got a couple minutes, so we want to answer a couple questions. If you're in the balcony, you're going to raise your hand and you're going to shout it out, or I'll repeat the question. Who can start us off with the first question? We got one right here. How much does it cost to support a child through however long we keep them? So for easy math, 1 year in our program, to send them to the camp is $550. But to send them through the entire year of the program, which means the camp, the 1 year of mentorship, and all the specialized resources that we give them, it's $2,500 for one kid to be in our program for 12 entire months, all things included. I need another question right here. How old do you have to be to volunteer? Technically 16 years old and up. We have a certain amount of people that can volunteer at age 16 and 17. Ideally, the state of Michigan wants you to be 18 years old because they consider you a legal adult at that time. But we do have a small roster of 16 and 17-year-olds. And if that interests you in any capacity today, we encourage you to go to loveforachild.org and follow us on social media. It's LOVE, the number 4, a child. Love for a child with the number 4 in the middle. Question 3. Anybody? Somebody in the balcony. Someone shoot something to me. Come on. I got something. Yell out nice and loud. What inspired me personally to be a part of this? When I was 22 years old, I was attending college. I was trying to figure out my purpose in life, and I found myself in a state of anxiousness and just wondering who I really wanted to be in life. And be quite honest, that very first year that we put on the first ever kids camp, we didn't really know how much we were doing correctly. That first year, 16 years ago, I met Timmy. And when he came off the bus, broken and hurt and confused, Timmy changed my life forever. And it's been a great blessing to have Timmy in my life for 16 years. But it was a 10-year-old boy that made me realize that my life wasn't that bad and that we could be doing more for kids like him. Yes, ma'am. Do we do any follow-through to follow up with the kids later on? A typical child is in our program between 2 and 5 years. Our goal is that they enter our program between 6 and 12 years old, and that if we do our job right, they will be in our program until they can return back at age 16 as a junior counselor to serve the very child that they once were. And so we do our best. Naturally, the state of Michigan sometimes put some limitations on that, but we do our best to stay in that child's life. A couple more. Yes, sir. Louder. Oh, limitations. So sometimes a child gets so much moved around inside the Michigan foster care program that they will no longer allow us to follow them from home to home. So we have no choice but to let that child be on their way. So it's against our protocol, what we can do at that point to save the child's safety. Maybe 1 or 2 more before we wrap up. Yes, ma'am. So for privacy reasons, I can't, on a public setting, announce where the exact camp is located, but it is within about an hour of where we are sitting, and it's near Rochester Hills, Michigan. So it's not too far. And what was the second part of the question? Yes. So we have 4 camps in the state of Michigan, but the one that Troy Athens will be supporting, we're going to choose 40 kids to come to that program this year that fall into the 2 categories that we talked about earlier in the presentation. So 40 children who are down on their luck, who will never be adopted, is who we're going to be supporting. Can we get one more? One last final question. We're going to go here, and then maybe we'll grab you as well. How many children have we worked with so far? This will be year 17 of our program, and if I do the math, we've helped about 4,000 children in foster care over those 17 years. And we'll do one final question. What other schools have helped us with charity and different things? We've had a lot of schools in the state, but my former school, Dakota High School, has supported us. We've had Stevenson High School. We've had some Christian academies like Zoe Christian Academy, Parkway Christian. We've had Rochester Adams High School as well. So the community has rallied around us to support these kids. So again, okay, a couple more. I guess I have more time. Am I missing anybody in the balcony, to be fair? I want to go right here. Nice and loud. Do we do any work helping them get adopted? So originally when we created the nonprofit, we didn't create the mission part of it to get them adopted, but I can proudly say that over the last years, volunteers in our program went out and got their foster license. And then they started fostering the very children that they met on that screen, the kids that came to our camp. And then they fell head over heels for these children, and they adopted them into their homes within 24 months. or sometimes even within a year of meeting the child. And so the original way that we wrote up the charity, it was not in the game plan, but it has happened many, many times over again. And we'll go one more. Right here, second row. Is all of the funding donation-based? Yes. So we have the great privilege of traveling the state and speaking on platforms like this in front of businesses, in front of other schools and individuals. And so 100% of the funds that come into Love for a Child are able to support the children that we've talked about today. And so guys, we're so excited that you guys get to go on Christmas break. I encourage you, follow us on social media. Remember, Instagram, love, the number 4, a child. Hey guys, let's raise the most money Troy Athens has ever done in Charity Week. Can we do that? Let's go. Thanks guys, Love for a Child.
Let's have another round of applause for Joe and Love for a Child and the Grateful Giving Fund. We are so excited to be raising money for Love for a Child. We have a few reminders and ideas for you. These are ways that you can help our school raise money for Love for a Child.
One of the first ones, make sure you buy your passport, okay? It will be available on school pay in January. Also remind your family members and other relatives to purchase the community passport, which will allow you to have access to all the night activities, and you get a shirt as well.
Make sure you tell a Stuco representative if you know of a company, business, or a person who would want to be a corporate sponsor where they can donate anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or more.
Also, tell Stuco if you know of a company, business, or person who would like to donate an item for our raffle. This might include sports tickets, gift certificates, or anything that you or your friends would like to win in our raffle.
Now we would like to show a brief highlight video from last year. Let's make this year just as special. At this time, we would like to invite all Stuco members to stand up and be recognized. Joy Mendrick.
Josh, where are you?
Stand up.
Josh, stand up.
If you are a member of Athens Stuco, please stand up.
Let's hear a round of applause for those who make Charity Week possible.
Where's Bailey? Bailey, stand up. Thank you, Bailey.
Hello? Hello. Thank you for coming. Have a great rest of your day. Have a happy holiday.